And saved there by Christoffi, but some excellent pressure put on by Baptista, who was named NESCAC Player of the Week just a couple weeks ago in January. 5 on the shot clock. They're going to have to force it. It's Coppola. The long 2. Got it off in time, but unfavorable bounce there. And Mucciaroni comes away. Lee, spot up, knocks it down. And the Jumbos with a 20-7 lead. And it's a 17-0 run for the Jumbos after Bates came out to a 7-3 lead. Jumbos getting left wide open on the perimeter. And Lee taking a tumble. Connors from the baseline off the dribble. No good. Mucciaroni with another rebound. And again, Dillon left wide open from the corner. And, almost a favorable bounce, but it goes out. Henshaw with the rebound. But Dillon left wide open from 3. And another offensive foul called on the Bobcats.
That's fine if you want to do that.
This one was on Lise Henshaw. Her second personal. And substitutions for the Jumbos, Erica DiCandido, freshman, as well as Sadie Utley, a freshman, coming in, replacing Lee and Baptista. And for the Bobcats, it's number 10, Melanie Binkhorst, coming in. And great pass there, Mucciaroni on the far side baseline. DiCandido getting into the stat sheet with an assist. And the 3 is good there by Binkhorst, coming in and immediately scoring. And she's tied for the leading scorer for her team. Only 4 Bobcats in the box score yet. Hicks launches. That's no good, and rebound there by Davenport. And Dillon thought she picked her pocket. A little surprised with the call there, but it'll be the first team foul on the Jumbos. And Bernie Connors back into the game, replacing Lise Henshaw for Bates. So under a minute now left in the first quarter. Tufts up by 12 already. And they go inside to Coppola. And Coppola had position there, but she'll kick it out. Davenport, corner 3, no good. Dillon kicking it up to DiCandido. Jump stop. And lays it in. Getting the defense to blow right by her. And about a 4-second difference between the shot and game clocks. Inside to Coppola. Righty hook. That's off the rim. Eight seconds left for Dillon. She's going to try to get a play in. Picked up her dribble, though. And a foul called there, costly, by Bernadette Connors. Only 4 team fouls, luckily for the Bobcats. We're at the 5th foul. It would have been a disastrous way to end the quarter. But the Jumbos will take it out of bounds. 3.5 seconds left. Dillon on the perimeter from the free throw line. Launches it one-handed, and it's off the side of the rim. So going into the second quarter, it's the Jumbos 24, Bates 10.
Hey, Matt. That was an eventful first quarter for me as well. We apologize here at JumboCast. We had some technical difficulties with YouTube. If you're hearing my voice, it means you found our stream. But if you're in touch with relatives that are still struggling to find us, just have them refresh the JumboCast page, and the stream there is working, as you know, if you're hearing us. So we apologize for that.
No worries, though, but an excellent performance by Melissa Baptista. She's actually tied with Bates herself. She is 2 for 3 from deep, 4 for 7 from the field. So she's got 10 points going into the second quarter alone. And the Jumbos overall have 7 different scorers on the stat sheet, including 5 with a bucket each. And on the Bates end, it's been a struggle offensively with only 4 players scoring. And it's really been stifling defense by the Jumbos overall. Bates with 5 turnovers in that quarter, Tufts with only 1. So Tufts really getting some steals leading to points on the other end.
Well, if you're a team like Bates, you're coming into Cousins Gymnasium and you want to take down the #1 team in the country. The benchmark goal, I think, for each quarter, you got to be scoring at least 12, 13 points, ideally more. But when you're held to 10 points or less in a quarter, regardless of what you can do yourselves on defense, it's not really going to be your afternoon.
Yeah, the Jumbos capitalizing with 8 points off turnovers in that quarter. Jacqueline Knapp back into the game for the Jumbos. Lauren Dillon to the bench.
The program's
Mucciaroni from the elbow. That's short, but North with the offensive rebound. Can't get the layup. And it's Coppola coming away with the board. And Cutting Binkhorst throws it up, and it's batted out. Davenport getting it to Coppola on the offensive rebound, but Coppola's 3 is wide right. Inside to North. Can't get the layup to go. Good defense by Coppola, and she grabs the rebound. And the Jumbos cutting off all adjacents here. Leaving Bates with no options to pass to. And looked like an errant pass. Went off the backboard there. And we've got a shot clock issue. Shot clock was not running. Good spot by the ref. So it'll be down to 14 seconds. I don't know how the shot clocks managed to know whenever they're wrong what time it is, but somehow they do. So down to 12 now for the Bobcats. Binkhorst working on Mucciaroni, and a foul. It looks like it'll be on the floor. Oh, nope, it'll be a shooting foul. So Mucciaroni with her first personal foul. Binkhorst to the line.
Binkhorst is at the line, shooting 2 for Bates.
And Binkhorst good on the first. That's her first free throw make of the year. Hasn't had too many attempts. And Mucciaroni will go to the bench. Get a little talking to from Coach Berube. And Josie Lee will be back into the game. Binkhorst can't make it 2. Rebound by Utley. Inside to North. She's cut off there. Lee with a long 2. And a rebound, Davenport. Christoffi picked there by DiCandido. Going the other way. Jump stop again and takes her time and lays it in off the glass. That's the second time we've seen that by DiCandido in the fast break.
And she's been one of the stars of the freshman class for the Jumbos with her offensive performance. Last week she scored 18 versus Conn College. But I think she's been a great all-around offensive player, and you see there Pesky with the steals. That's one of the team trademarks that she's really adopted into her game.
And Madeline Foote coming into the game, replacing Christoffi. And yeah, DiCandido creating her own offense with those steals and having the composure to go against 2 defenders on both those layups she's made. North inside from about 8 feet is short on the shot. And you could tell she's looking for that record. Connors into Coppola. 10 on the shot clock. The 3 is good. Davenport knocking it down.
Copel had a career-high 28 points against Conn College last weekend. Similar performance, so probably needs to be in the works.
And DeCandido with a nice spot-up jumper there, off the dribble actually. So the freshman for Tufts with the most points of anyone out there with 6. Davenport for Bates also with 6. She leads them.
The
10 on
defense.
on the shot clock, and Foot's 3 is no good.
It's an interesting defensive scheme on that possession. DeCandido was playing man-to-man while the rest of the team was playing zone.
And it's out to Lee. 3 is good.
Well, one of the reasons the Jumbos have remained dominant on defense over the years is that they managed to run a very effective zone defense that very few teams in D3 can pull off.
And that's considered a 2 there.
Davenport had her foot on the line. Jumbos right now allow the second fewest points per game in the nation, second only to Amherst, who we'll see here a week from today. Last year came in second to Amherst as well.
And great bounce pass by DeCandido finding North, who ties the Tufts program record. But a great bounce pass in the lane there.
Michaela North, the all-time leading scorer for the Jumbos. She's not alone, however.
And Davenport with corner 3, and that's short, but Coppola's there to eat it up. So Bates staying with it here in this second quarter. It's a 15-point game. It was 14 points after the break. And a slow closeout there, but Oatley can't take advantage from the corner. And a hard drive, foul called.
Binkhorst nearly had it poked away in 2 different occasions on that drive, eventually getting fouled in the process.
Foul on number 24, Michaela North. That's her 3rd.
So
Team 2nd.
North picks up her first foul.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. 15 minutes in, she's already in foul trouble, and she might. That's her first.
Yeah, I think they misannounced it there as her 3rd, but that was her first personal. As Binkhorst hits the first, and Lauren Dillon and Melissa Baptista coming back in for Otley and DeCandido. A good shift put in by those freshmen.
Another reason that the Jumbos have been able to sustain success within the course of the season is they can spread out the minutes without anybody getting too tired and without anybody having to shoulder the load. They've got, I forget the exact number, but most of their players average at least 5 points per game. Baptista and North are the only 2 that average double-figure points. And I mean, it's not an offensive-minded team, but when the scoring comes from all around, it forces the defense to have one player to lock down, basically.
Yeah, and obviously the targets would be North and Baptista, but really the Jumbos have many options to go to. Luxury.
Again, playing within D3, Michaela North is 6'2". She's 2 inches taller than any player that the Bobcats are running out there. That's an advantage that North has on most teams that they face.
And Binkhorst makes it 2 of 2.
Melanie Binkhorst.
Binkhorst now up to 6 in the game.
The floor for Bates. Number 13, Carly Christoffi.
And it's Carly Christoffi coming back in to replace Binkhorst. And they go inside to North. Fouled. And she'll go to the line with a chance to make the record all her own.
Bates fouls on number
It's hardly the most dramatic way this could happen, but North.
Not the most fitting for North either. Not the best free throw shooter in the world.
Well, she's shooting for the record. And she's got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
And the bench and the crowd coming to their feet.
Has become the Tufts University women's basketball program's all-time leading scorer. Michaela now has
And everyone giving her a round of applause
Yeah,
here.
maybe we can get a shot of the video board here. They're putting it on the video board.
Who scored 1,422 points as a jumbo from 2007 to 2011. A two-time All-American and the reigning NESCAC Co-Player of the Year, Michaela is also Tufts' all-time leading rebounder. Congratulations, Michaela, on topping the jumbo scoring list.
And I wasn't going to try to speak over the PA there, but Michaela North now the all-time leading scorer and rebounder in jumbo history. So witnessing history here, a team that's gone to the Final Four and the championship game. And this year they'll look to finally win it all. It'll be a tough task, especially with Amherst looming. And North goes 2 for 2.
2 points, Michaela North.
And brings the jumbo lead back up to 15. But without Sydney Moss on in D3, it'll be definitely a possibility for the Jumbos to get back there this year.
Well, yeah, it was basically Sydney Moss was all that stood between the Tufts Jumbos in a championship last year. And she graduated.
Davenport launches with 4 on the shot clock, and Coppola gets the offensive board. And they'll take their time. It's foot off the screen and trying to go over North. And she almost gets the offensive rebound. And Bates switching between zone and man looks right now in man as Baptista rolls by her defender and lays it in with the left.
You don't often see a tall player like Baptista able to maintain a dribble for that long without it being knocked away, but especially on the interior.
Dillon getting her hand in the passing lane again. Bates recovering. And just stifling defense now from Josie Lee in the corner. And forces the turnover. Baptista with the steal. It's her and Dillon. And Baptista with the speed to take it herself. Bates calls timeout.
Baptista, 14 points already through just 17 minutes of game action. It may be North with the record. Baptista's the one setting off the fireworks this afternoon so far.
Yeah, and that play there is where the players who don't score as much for the Jumbos really contribute. You saw Josie Lee with the shutdown defense in the corner. It's tough to force a trap with one person alone, but Lee seemed to do it there. Forcing the turnover, I think it might have been Henshaw who threw it away. And Baptista just standing in the right spot, cutting off the passing lane, and took it all the way herself. So Lee getting involved, even though she doesn't score too much.
And a note about Baptista, you know, one of the main reasons she's able to get to that plateau, all-time scoring leader, and still a handful of games left in this regular season. A couple of factors. First of all, this Tufts.
And a miss there by Davenport.
Replay before you do anything else.
And a swat there by North.
Coppola
collects it.
Well, we do need to record, but
And the layup there, good by Davenport.
right. The stream should never cut off on its own.
North of the dart pass inside, and Lee finishes.
Watch that. That can never. Yeah, well, recording is a lost cause.
Inside Davenport from the baseline. Rebound by Lee. Bates coming the other way. Sorry about the technical difficulties here. And a steal there by North. Finds Baptista. She's all alone. And an easy layup for the junior. And 35 seconds left. Tufts will probably have the last possession here in the half. Copel up top, 5 on the shot clock. She's going to have to force one here. And Dylan getting in the way of her dribble, and a jump ball is called.
Baseball.
1 on the shot clock left. It will remain with Bates as DiCandido and Mucciaroni come in, replacing Baptista and Lee. So Bates will have to catch and shoot here.
Yeah, love to see what they're going to do on this kind of a play. They haven't taken a timeout to set it up, so I'm not expecting too much.
Davenport, not even close on that. Her momentum was backwards. She couldn't really get a proper shot off.
43, Bates. Oh, correction. My mistake.
The PA announcing halftime score there, but not quite halftime.
Yeah, that's our friend Paul Sweeney getting a little ahead of himself.
He's a little excited today with that big announcement for McKayla North. So 12 on the clock left. Dylan up top, off the screen. DiCandido now. And Knapp gets a nice little lane there. Tries to go off the glass. North with the board, and at the buzzer, puts it in. So and that'll be halftime. So Jumbo's going in with a lead of 45-22 over the Bobcats.
And a fitting end, North getting herself into double figures on the afternoon at the halftime buzzer after accomplishing what no other Tufts Jumbo has had. She's now got 1,428 career points scored in the Jumbo uniform.
Yeah, so another impressive defensive performance by the Jumbos, holding Bates to 22, and it looks like at this pace they might hold them under 50 for the game. So we'll come back. Bates needing to get into an offensive rhythm, but the Jumbos dominant here in the first half.
That's not
All right, and welcome back to Cousins Gymnasium for the second half between the Tufts women's Jumbos and the Bates Bobcats. Tufts with a 45-22 advantage, led here by Melissa Baptista. She has 16 points from the first half on 7 of 11 shooting. She's followed by Josie Lee with 9 points and Michaela North setting the Tufts all-time program record in scoring. She's got 8 points here in the game. And I'm here with Bernie Birnbaum with JumboCast. And what have you seen from the first half there?
Well, frankly, I spent a lot of the first half dealing with some of our technical difficulties, so I didn't see nearly as much of it as I would have hoped. I'm sure a lot of our viewers at home feel the same way. But what I did see is the kind of defense I expect from Tufts. 22 points given up in the half is pretty much par for the course. What's been explosive is the offense. The Bates defense is not figured out a way to solve the puzzle, and it's Baptista that's the focal point for the offense.
And both teams back with their first half starters as Baptista gets the layup off the dribble. She's up to 18 now in the game. And on the men's side of things, Bates actually with the lead over there. They lead by 8 at halftime over Tufts. The Jumbos, of course, without Tom Pileski right now, who's battling a knee injury. But Tufts looking to stay first in the NESCAC up in Lewiston. 7 on the shot clock. And a drive, and the layup is good by Bernie Connors.
I think this is the first time I've covered any kind of event where one of the athletes went by the same name as me. You probably get that a lot, though.
And a cut there by Baptista on the baseline, and that's good. And yeah, and who'd have thought it'd be on the women's side of things, but we got Bernie commentating about Bernie.
Yeah.
I get Mats a lot in games, so I'm no stranger.
Bernie Connors, one of the co-captains for Bates.
And the pull up there, no good. 2 on the shot clock. It was forced by Connors. And a lob pass forward by Lee.
Yeah, Lee was heads up, saw Knapp was wide open. Knapp also heads up, realized she wasn't in a position to take an easy layup and reset the play.
And the rebound coming off Davenport there. It'll be Lee under the basket. North up top now. They're giving her room, not worried that she'll take any threes. North has taken and attempted 0 threes this year, so not really an outside threat. 6 on the shot clock. Lee with a great pass inward to North. Off the glass and good. Michaela North in double figures now. And Lee picking up another assist there. Her second of the game. Copel up top. And a drive by Henshaw. Can't get around Baptista. 7 on the shot clock, so Bates down again. It'll be Davenport launching from the top of the key. That's back iron. And North with the rebound. North with her 4th board of the game. And it's Knapp drawing the foul. Going down hard and nearly getting the and one.
Yeah, I'll say, I mean, when you're
when
down by about 26, 27 rather, early in the third, this is sort of the time where you got to prevent those kind of fast breaks. I call that a good foul. Would have been an easy bucket for Knapp had she been allowed to continue.
And Lise Henshaw will head to the bench with her 3rd personal foul in the game. It'll be Melanie Pinkhorst coming in. And that makes it 2 for 2.
Now there's a decent possibility that what we're seeing here could be a preview of another game later on. Bates right now tied for 7th in the NESCAC. That's where they finished last year. And Tufts will almost certainly finish 1st or 2nd in the league. That's going to be decided for all intents and purposes right here next weekend when Tufts takes on Amherst. So what you're looking at could be a potential quarterfinal matchup if
Dillon with hard pressure 2 times in a row there over by the scores table, but this time it's off Bates. So the hard pressure paying off for Dillon. Oh, nope, it'll be Bates' ball actually, but it'll be under the baseline this time. So Dillon really exerting her defensive dominance, and Baptista getting a hand in there, and it'll be called a jump ball on the floor there. Turned over by Connors, but it'll remain with Bates on the possession arrow.
It's not often you see a 3-on-2 in the backcourt in favor of the defense. That's what led to the turnover.
And North getting a hand in there. So everyone's getting a hand in these passing lanes, and Bates not quick enough getting open for the passer.
Yeah, already leading by 29. The Jumbos are not giving Bates any room to so much as breathe.
And this time they get it forward with Connors. She'll pull it out, but Bates with only 10 seconds on the shot clock because of all that pressure from the Jumbos on this possession. Been quite the drawn-out possession. And Coppola's pass picked off by Dillon. Going hard the other way, and layup is blocked, but Davenport's called for a foul.
North has the pesky hands. As you see the replay here, she just took it away, but she doesn't have the kind of breakaway speed that would allow her to accelerate straight to the basket. She felt the presence of the defender and drew the foul.
And Dillon good on the first. 30-point lead now for the Jumbos as Katie Hicks comes in. And it'll be Madeline Foote coming in, replacing Bernie Connors. And it's North to the bench for the Jumbos.
The video board even displaying a photo of Miss Hicks as she comes into the game. The video board new to 2017, something we're all very excited about. It's just another reason to come on down to Cousins and watch this live. There's no technical difficulties if you're here in person, so we encourage you to come on down.
Yeah, the weather's not even that bad. It's good to get outside, come over to Medford here. Got a lot of parents of Bates players here as they go inside to Coppola, and she finishes over Hicks. Bates with 6 Bay Staters on their roster. And the Jumbos with a few of their own.
Behind the back dribble, the moves, kicked out to Baptista.
Corner 3, no good.
That was a highlight reel assist ready to happen.
I feel like sometimes as a point guard, you get the most pretty passes, but if they aren't finished with the shot, you never get them on the highlight reel as Davenport hits the 3. Sometimes I feel like good passes that go unfinished with baskets should be on highlight reels. But unfortunately, they're not on SportsCenter, never. Hicks, 10-footer, no good. Coppola getting the rebound under pressure by Baptista. And we were talking about the NESCAC tournament there briefly as the 3 is missed by Foote and a hard rebound goes down. Dillon winning the jump ball. That'll go to the Jumbos.
And you see the replay here. I like what the Bobcats did on this possession. That Madeline Foote saw her opening, took the shot immediately. The Jumbos have been grinding down these possessions on defense, forcing the Bobcats to put up shots late in the shot clock. Foote saw her opportunity early in the shot clock and was not waiting around for anything better.
And Mucciaroni and DiCandido coming in to replace Baptista and Lee. As Mucciaroni kicks it out. DiCandido thinks about the 3 and sends it out to Knapp for an open 3. No good, but Hicks knocks the rebound to Mucciaroni, and the Jumbos will get a fresh clock. We were talking about the NESCAC tournament, and last year Bates, the 7th seed, had to go to Amherst where they really got walloped in that one. So they'll look for a better performance this year in postseason play. And Dillon turning it over. But coming back with it on the defensive end, taking it away, and 1! Lauren Dillon really making a positive out of a negative there. Turning it over, immediately stealing it back, and going for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
That was the words on my lips that were about to come was, this is unusual to see for Dillon, but it usually comes out in the wash when it comes to her takeaways. She redeemed herself about as quickly as you'll ever see in this sport.
And she gets all 3 to go. Lauren Dillon not scoring too much today. Only 4 points on the day.
Substitution for the Tufts.
But she's got 5
Entering the
rebounds,
game,
which
number
actually
15,
leads
Harrington,
Tufts.
Replacing Knapp.
And Jackie Knapp will head to the bench. And Kaylin Harrington from my alma mater, Westwood High School, into the game now for the Jumbos.
I mean, the trajectory of Dylan's career is started as a freshman. She came on replacing Kelsey Moorhead, who was down with an injury as a starting point guard. Had a way less of an offensive aspect to her game in terms of point scoring compared to the player that she replaced. Last year in her sophomore year, she much improved on that end, but it's sort of taken a back seat as other scorers have emerged from the freshman class that have taken some of the pressure off. And Dylan can focus on being more of a floor general without being responsible for too much of the scoring.
And again, as you say that, Dylan forcing the turnover there. She wasn't the one with the steal in the box score, but her pressure on the backcourt in a one-on-one situation led to that steal. And in and out there for Hicks, but Harrington with the offensive rebound. Dylan, wide open three is short.
Hicks had a wide open opportunity to try a second time. A little too generous on the dish, if you ask me.
And a little scoop shot there, no good by Foot. And it's Dylan the other way, going hard. The righty layup, scooping it in from the left side, and Lauren Dylan on a little run of her own. And we got a timeout here. I think it's probably called by Bates, as Tufts is back up to a 30-point lead, 59-29, with 3.5 left to go in the third quarter here.
Timeout, Bates.
Little stat update. Nina Davenport leading the way, as she normally does for the Bobcats. She's 5 of 13 from the floor, including 3 of 9 from 3. Good for 13 points here. On the Tufts end, it's still Melissa Baptista with 20 and Michaela North with 10. Josie Lee 9, and Dylan and DeCandido with 6 for the Jumbos.
Do we have any out-of-town scores?
Yeah, a little update from the men's side. It's Bates 45, Tufts 33, so the Jumbos in trouble without their senior center up in Lewiston. There's still 18 minutes to play, though, so we'll see how that one finishes out.
Yeah, not to digress too far, but the Jumbos had a huge benefit to welcome Newbury College on Tuesday night, or was it Thursday? Thursday night, that the men's team did, and a team that, with a 1-14 record coming in, basically saw that as an opportunity for the men's basketball team to sort of adjust to life without Tom in sort of a low-pressure situation. But now going up against an SCAC competition without the star center, it seems like they're encountering some difficulty.
Yeah, really could use Hunter Sabetti at a time like this. And looking around women's basketball in the NESCAC, it is Conn College with a 36-16 advantage over Wesleyan at the start of the second half. Bowdoin smacking Colby 46-18. I'm sure the Mainers out there are interested in that one. Amherst 48, Trinity 30. And Middlebury in a tight one with a 5-point lead, 32-27 over the Hamilton Continentals. And on the men's side, as we said, Bates the lead over Tufts. That one looks to be a 10-point lead right now. Wesleyan with a 2-point advantage over Conn College, 38-36. Hamilton trailing Middlebury 63-43. And Bowdoin beating Colby by 7, 39-32. That ball tipped around, and it's out to DeCandido. The three is good.
Erica DeCandido for 3.
You know, I'm not supposed to have favorites, but when it comes to offense, I think DeCandido's the star that's shining the brightest out of the freshman class. I said it before, I'll say it again, and she's starting to see her minutes grow as a result.
You can have favorites. This is college basketball.
This
isn't high school anymore. You can express your opinion.
Team's first
Well,
substitutions.
I guess when it comes to offense, DeCandido's got to be my favorite of the freshman class.
For the Jumbos, number 32, Katie Martinson.
And freshman Kelly Kennedy into the game for the first time for Bates, number 22. She's down low. She's working there on Katie Martinson, who's into the game for the first time, replacing Michaela North. And Oatley is into the game as well for the Jumbos.
Jumbo fouls on number 12, Sadie.
I also want to welcome into the game Tom Jesnowski, who's making his directorial debut right now. Tom, we've got our eyes on you. We're wishing you well.
And that free throw rattling out for
Substitution
Connors.
for the Bobcats.
And also into the game for the first time
Entering
is
number
Lexi
24,
Nason.
Lexi Nason.
So both teams sort of acknowledging the scoreline here with only 2.5 left in the third quarter. And they'll go to their younger players.
Well, these are valuable minutes, not necessarily for the outcome of this game, but it's typically the underclassmen that are going to be taking the floor now. As D. Candido found wide open.
Great pass, and finds Martinson for the lay-in.
I mean, you're looking at the future of NESCAC basketball now. You know, these are players that are going to be going head-to-head for the next, 2-3 years. And so it's pretty exciting to get a sneak peek.
DeCandido with excellent court vision there to find the pass down low. And foul called on Otley. That is the third foul on the team. So still neither team into the bonus. Connors working down low. Scoop pass, they get it out. And 3 attempt from Henshaw is wide right. Rebound, Mucciaroni. And they go inside. Harrington caught on the baseline. Gets it out. Mucciaroni finding Martinson. Baseline jumper, rattles in.
Katie Martinson from Jenny Mucciaroni.
Martinson quickly, a couple of baskets off the bench.
Tufts ball.
And that one going out for the Jumbos there.
Binkhorst, I think, had a foot on the line.
And still a 12-point lead for the men's Bobcats team over the Jumbos up in Lewiston. Martinson hands off to Otley. She'll launch the three. And no good, but Harrington's there for the offensive rebound. And that pass finds Mucciaroni. Working her way around, fouled on the jump shot. Never foul a jump shooter, and she'll go to the line for 2.
You know, I miss the days when we had the men's and women's games in one location consecutively. Not only, you get a full afternoon or evening of quality basketball, but for us, as the broadcasting crew, it's sometimes easier to get in the setup once, do 2 games in a row, work out all the kinks.
And Foot and Mustafi back into the game as Mucciaroni hits both. Yeah, I certainly miss those too. You really get the energy carrying over from one game to another, and especially with both Tufts teams nationally ranked in the top 5. You get fans coming out for both teams here. It's not just the women's team that's good anymore.
I suppose the flip side is for alumni that just want to see some basketball. If you live near one NESCAC city, you're guaranteed to see your team come through at least once, whether it be the men or the women.
And a running hook shot there. Otley with the rebound. And she fires it forward. Martinson finding Harrington and dribbles off a Bates foot. Yeah, it certainly is easier scheduling-wise, having the men's team at one location and the women at the other with both schools.
Well, it depends who you ask. Again, from my humble perspective, when we have the men's and teams alternating, it means I don't have any free weekends.
And Otley with a travel there. It would also free us up to do more track and field events. Of course, last night we did our first attempt at track and field. We got some pentathlon and heptathlon in. Of course, the full event is going on today with quite a few races being run over in the Gantry Center.
I walked over there earlier this morning, and it was a madhouse. We really missed out on the good stuff, but we're here with you just about 50 feet away, something like that at Cousins, maybe a little more than 50 feet. But
Jackie Knapp back into the game, replacing Otley. And the shot, as the quarter expires, is good with the long 2 for Bernie Connors, and the Jumbos will dribble out the clock. So going into the fourth quarter, it's Tufts 68, Bates 31. 10 minutes left to play here.
I didn't expect this to be a particularly close game, but I did expect a little bit more of a contest. I don't know how to phrase that nicely, but instead it's Tufts with a 37-point lead.
And a good look at the depth of the teams, at least. So, and you never know with postseason play, you don't want injuries to happen, but sometimes they do come up, and it's good to get minutes for players further down the roster here. Of course, Jumbos, remember, as Bernie said earlier, when Lauren Dillon had to step up in postseason play and late in the season, and she cemented herself a role there because of an injury. So. And quick look at the men's. Bates up 52-41 with 14.5 left there. But back with this game, and the stats mostly unchanged. You know, players further down the roster picking up points now. Tufts have 8 different scorers in this game.
Number 20, Coppola, and number 31, Alexa Goldman. And for the Jumbos, Josie Lee returns.
And Josie Lee back into the game for the Jumbos. Coppola back in for the Bobcats.
And not a huge rest for either of these teams after tonight's game. Both teams will play Tuesday night at home. Bates against Maine Farmington. Tufts against Rhode Island College. We'll be carrying that for you on JumboCast as well. So, whereas if they had all the way till next weekend off, you might see more of the starters. Instead, taking a breather, preparing for the game just about 3 days' time.
And a couple steals on both ends. Has it back with the Bobcats. A 3 launched there by Foot. And rebound Coppola. And gets the layup over Martinson.
2 points, Ellie Coppola.
Inside with DiCandido, double teamed by Coppola. Foul called here on the floor. It'll be on Davenport.
And that's a situation where the defense clearly has the advantage. You got 2-on-1. DiCandido had no way to go. That would be a bad foul, if you ask me.
And the shot by Martinson, no good. Rebound tipped around, finds its way to the Bobcats. And Davenport left open, mistake there. DiCandido was slow on the closeout, and she'll get an earful from Coach Bayrubi, as Davenport is the shooter. And Hicks will come into the game, likely to replace whoever was at fault on that three-pointer. As Lee drives. And a couple players going down.
Davenport 16 points. Rarely do you see players exceed their season average against Tufts, but Davenport's done that tonight. Impressive individual effort.
4 of 10 from deep.
Yeah, that'll help.
And the shot clock running down here at 6 seconds left. Coppola looking to get it in. And off the glass is short.
Frankly impressive she got the shot off at all.
Tough swinging around the perimeter. 12 on the shot clock. Martinson launching the long 2. And Davenport pulls it in. And some tough defense here. They're both still staying active in the passing lanes. Yeah, but left open. No good on the 3, and Martinson tries to pull it in. Coppola wrestles it away from her, draws the foul, but can't get the basket to fall.
Martinson standing at 6'1".
Tough fouls on number 20.
Also taller than any player the Bobcats have out there.
Team first.
In my opinion, should have been able to pull that rebound down. She basically had it too. Good effort on the part of the Bobcats to not make anything easy, even at this juncture.
And number 33, Melissa Baptista, replacing DiCandido and Martinson. And also back is number 4, Jenny Mucciaroni, replacing Harrington.
And Baptista, Hicks, and Mucciaroni back into the game. So Tufts going with most of their starters here.
2 points, Ellie Capola.
As Coppola hits them both.
I'm a big fan, and it seems to me that Coach Berube is too, of trying all your different combinations, because right now it's a low-pressure situation. You never know when, God forbid, an injury is going to happen or special circumstances are going to cause for groups of players playing together that you wouldn't expect. Here you have an opportunity to try out the different combinations and make sure that in the event of something like that, it's not so much of a shock. It's been done before.
And Davenport picking up her 3rd foul there. Only the 2nd on Bates in the quarter.
Bates defense strong on the interior.
But Baptista falling away off the dribble. And that's just a pretty fall away there.
Yeah, that's indicative of the game at large. With 4 defenders on the interior, and Baptista making it look easy, barely getting any fight.
And a poor switch there by the Jumbos. Kick out to Davenport, and she's no good on the 3. Knapp the other way. The only true point guard out there for the Jumbos. And Hicks launches from top of the arc. That's collected and stolen, almost stolen away by Lee. So strong pressure there from the Jumbos, forcing Christofi into some trouble. Jumbos still playing hard deep into the 4th quarter here in a blowout. And Christofi launches the 3. And that's short, hauled in by Lee.
This is going to end up being one of the higher point totals for Tufts. They average 65 points a game. 5 minutes left, they're well above that.
And a pretty move there by Baptista on low, but she could not get the layup to fall. Yeah, the Jumbo shooting 55% for the game. A very strong number for this team. As the corner 3 falls for Christofi.
Carly Christofi for 3.
It's not the first time Bates has allowed a team to score to shoot at greater than 50%. Last weekend in the loss to Conn College, Conn College shot 51.7%. So Bates defense really can struggle to force opponents into tricky shots.
And a dart of a pass by Christofi, and Coppola finishes and 1 down low. And, excuse me, I said Tufts is shooting 55%. They're actually shooting about 51%. Still a good mark for the Jumbos.
I'd take it.
Jumbo fouls on number 33, Melissa Baptista. That's her 1st.
Baptista called for her 1st personal as Otley and Martinson come in to replace Baptista and Knapp.
Shooting 1.
And in for the Bobcats are Binkhorst and Henshaw. And Harrington also into the game, replacing Lee. And it's Christofi and Foote to the Bobcat bench. And the free throw is good, and 1 completed by Coppola.
Baker's dozen for her.
Yep, and she's roughly around her season average right now with 13. As Mucciaroni gets the back iron, Davenport pulls it in.
I think the real drama left to be had within the context of this game is the Jumbos can be able to hold their opponent to under 50 points as they do almost every single time. Bates very realistically can reach that mark.
Yeah, Bates already with 13 points here, only through 6.5 minutes in the 4th quarter. So giving Coach Berube some material to work with for post game. As the 3 is long and Hicks hauls it in. Mucciaroni, no good, collects her miss. Hicks for 3, it's good.
It's about time. She's been trying a few of those, hasn't gotten one to fall until just then.
Hicks now with 5 in the game. Pick out by Connors. They swing it to Davenport, top of the key. 3 no good. Mucciaroni the other way. A good movement around the perimeter by the Bobcats. Martinson launches. No good, but Hicks with the offensive board. Off the glass, no good. Hicks again, keeping the possession alive, but she's swatted there by Connors.
Yeah, one of the more ill-advised takes with nearly a full shot clock surrounded by defenders.
Wide open for Henshaw, leaves it short. And it's Otley the other way with 2 minutes left.
Henshaw still battling on defense.
Inside to Hicks. She's got a mismatch. She kicks it out. Harrington, no good on the 3.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of open shots for the Jumbos clanging.
And turnover there by the Bobcats. So it'll be
Substitutions.
a couple new faces here for the Bobcats. It's Kelly Kennedy, who already made an appearance.
Congratulations to Tom Jesnowski for wrapping up his first bout of directing. If you've enjoyed the directing in the past 10 minutes, you know who to thank.
And Erica DiCandido coming into the game again, and Alexis Hermes making her game debut. And a move there from Otley.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Otley's in line to basically be the backup and eventually starting point guard as she moves forward in her career.
Next foul on number 22, Kelly Kennedy. That's her first. Team third.
And Jackie Knapp, who seemed
Substitution
to
for
be in line for that
Returning,
position.
number 13,
You know, Coach
Carly
Berube
Mustafi,
liked her defense so much,
replacing
decided,
Henshaw.
you know, we can't live without Jackie Knapp on the court. We gotta have her become more of a guard, just to have her for a defense. And so now Otley's in line for the point guard spot.
Martinson with a great move, but that one took a bad bounce out. Bobcats the other way.
I think it was also Sadie Otley, who hasn't lost a game in 5 years. She's undefeated through her entire high school career, and so far going on 20-0 with Tufts.
We'll have to bring up her middle school playing record, see if she was undefeated back then, too.
Baseball.
I think it was Otley. It's definitely one of the freshmen.
And into the game, Lexi Nason for the Bobcats. So under a minute now. Jumbo 73, Bates 44, so it looks like Bates will be held under 50 unless they can pull together a couple threes here. Connors on the drive, kicks it. And great tip there by Martinson. Down low.
And Jumbo's doing just about their season average on defense, holding teams to an average of 44.2.
And about 45 in NESCAC play, so.
I expect that to change next weekend, though. I don't think you can read too much into the conference stats until, for any team, until you've got your Tufts or Amherst, at least one of the two out of the way. And as we look ahead,
and
offensive foul.
Yeah, it might have been a pity foul call, but don't know how that was an offensive foul. So Otley
you saw the replay. I didn't see too much there, but
yeah, a wry smile from Coach Berube, but leading 29, it doesn't really matter.
So looking ahead, as the Bobcats will get one last chance to score.
And it's Connors driving, and ball's batted around. Nason no good at the buzzer, so it'll be the Jumbos 73, Bates 44. Jumbos advancing to 20-0. And of course, the story in this game, Kayla North becoming the all-time program leading scorer. And just a quick look at the score. Los Baptista leading the way with 22 points. Nina Davenport with 16 for the Bobcats. And North pulling in 10 points to break the record here for the Jumbos.
Yeah, but what you see is that 9 different players scored for Tufts, every single scorer with at least 2 buckets. So the depth on full display in this game that was basically not in contention for most of the second half. As we look ahead The tough schedule continues. Both teams will get an out-of-conference opponent. We will get the next 3 games for Bates on Tuesday night at home against Maine Farmington, then at home Friday night against Amherst, and then Trinity on Saturday. These 2 teams are sort of paired, as you see the scoreboard congratulating Michaela North. So Tufts has the home out-of-conference game against Rhode Island College on Tuesday for hosting Trinity and then Amherst.
Bates finally getting a rest after the conclusion of this 5-game road streak in which they lost 4, so they'll look to get back on track at home. And on the men's side, the Jumbos trail at the Bobcats 67-54 with 7.5 left there, so keep an eye on that game, but it looks like the Jumbos will fall in their first test without Tom Pileski. But the women's side continuing their incredible start to 2017, 20-0 on the year so far, and perfect in NESCAC play. So for Bernie Birnbaum, I'm Matt Macy-Phelps here with Tufts JumboCast. Thank you for tuning in. The Tufts women coming away with an impressive win over the Bates Bobcats.